I do think a major contribution I have made is trying to break down the little walls of specialization and make some wonderful, wonderful scholarship available to the general reader and to the general intellectual world. The work that was done that's been done on the Inquisition, for example, has been published in obscure books. That's too bad. They should have been published in very well-known, and by the way, they're very readable books, but not very many people know about them. And the same is true of much about the so-called scientific revolution. There were some wonderful books from which I learned all of this, but somehow they weren't getting into the textbooks. They weren't getting into the general thought stream. The same with the Crusades. There are some wonderful English historians who have completely revolutionized our understanding of the Crusades by digging out all of the old wills and mortgages and things that the early crusading families signed and took out in order to go crusading. And we discovered that these people bankrupted themselves to go. And we also were able to trace out who they were and discover, of course, not very many families did go on the Crusades, but they tended all to know each other and all be related. You know, there'd be 4 sons and 3 sons-in-laws and 2 cousins coming from a given family. In several cases, the wives went long, and they rode east. They knew they weren't coming back, or they thought it was very unlikely, and many of them didn't come back. But they went and they spent and they did the thing. And somehow it seems to me criminal that all these wonderful pieces in specialized areas aren't being drawn together, because the people who are doing the so-called drawing together are mostly a bunch of silly Marxists who don't read anybody.